Hey, good morning. I'm Rebecca Craddock with Powell Kuiper Commercial Real Estate Services. I'm also an ambassador with the East Orlando Chamber. We are here at Boardwalk Bowl for Testimonial Tuesday and also our Great Lunch Adventures, which start at 12:30. And I understand the sliders are phenomenal. So everybody come out and join us. Try some food out here. I'm also with Mary Beth Louise, Medallion Title. We're going to talk a little bit about her title services and what makes her just such an awesome title agent today. So, welcome, Mary Beth.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I figured we could start, just talking about you, the person. Who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
um, Mary Beth Louise. I am a wife of going on 19 years. My husband Jack is in real estate. And we have two kids, two girls. They are ages 14 and 15. And then we have two fur babies, a dog and a cat. Um, we love boating. We love all things real estate. And we are currently in the process of building a home, owner builder. So it's an experience. So just to
Exciting.
add to everything.
Exciting. So you get the raw side
Yes,
of the real
yes,
estate and the title services.
yes, exactly.
Yeah. So how long have you been in the title business?
I've been in since 1998, so a little over 26 years, and
What
stuck
attracted
around.
you to the business in the first place? I mean, did you wake up one morning and go, I really have to be a title agent?
No, no, not at all. Um, Actually, I was in college, and my college roommate worked at a law firm in Tallahassee. And she said, "You know what? I'm going into real estate." So I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "But I want you to go in and interview at my current employer and see if they like you and all that stuff." So, anyways, I knew nothing about the business. I had no idea what a mortgage was, what a deed was, nothing. Um, but I think they saw youth and somebody that they could work to the bone, and they hired me on the spot. And I had no idea what I was doing. I'm sure half the people there hated me for the first couple months while I was figuring it out. But I had some really good mentors, and um, I never left. I ended up transferring back to Orlando, and I've been here ever since.
Wow,
So,
fabulous.
yeah,
And so I guess since you've been doing it for so long, you must really enjoy it.
I do. It gets stressful, but I love it. Yes.
Like what are the challenges about the job that you look forward to and that you enjoy nodding?
Um, I do like figuring out title issues. So a lot of my clients will call me when they're having like major issues, even if it's with another, title company.
Okay,
I
so
like
like
that part.
what for people that aren't familiar with, title, what kind of issues can you run into while you're working with that?
Like currently, I have one. There was major discrepancies with the survey and the legal description dating back to like 1985. So had to work through all that, and we're closing at 2:30 today.
Yay,
So
congratulations.
yes. Um, but yeah, my those would be the issue part. But the fun part about it is working with the clients. I really like first time home buyers. I like being able to walk them through the process and help them really understand what they're doing when they're
So if
buying
I
a
was a
home.
first time home buyer and I, met you, what
Mhm.
what would be some of the first few things that you would say to me?
I would just give them an overview of what the process is going to entail and let them know what to expect along the way. And one thing that makes me different from a lot of people is I give out my personal cell phone. So if they have questions along the way, if they have title questions, just give me a call and I'll walk you through the whole process, whether it be as simple as just wiring your funds to what to expect on closing day. So, yeah,
Okay,
I love it.
great. And usually, how long does the whole process take for closing for any
Um,
title
on
services?
average, 30 days. I'd say once the contract comes in to me and we get that process going, it's a couple weeks for lien searches, if there's an HOA, things like that. And then if there's a lender involved, that's usually a 30 to 45-day process, beginning to end. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So is the majority of your business with first time home buyers?
Um, no, a lot of my business is with individuals or investors who are buying properties. I live out in the Oviedo, Geneva area, so I have a lot of clients out there that live on acreage,
Okay.
and they're investors, and that's a lot of it. But I love the individuals, the residential. That's kind of my favorite.
Do you ever do any commercial title work?
I have. It's not my primary focus at all, though, because there's so much involved in it, that I just don't have the time. Being kind of a one-man show, I don't have the time to devote to the commercial side of it. So there are people in my office that handle those deals.
Okay.
So,
And so, speaking of being a one-man show,
yeah.
You were talking about, things that kind of set you apart. So how does being like your own entity in the title business really set you apart?
Well,
What are the advantages and disadvantages?
I work for a title company called Medallion Title, and we are part of the law firm of Demasi and Burton out of downtown Orlando. But what's unique about me is I'm not in the office. I work from home, and I bring in my own business, and then I close my own business. So I don't do any like house accounts or anything that the firm brings in. I generate all my own, and I close all my own. So it allows me to focus on my clients, which is really important to me. And I think it's important to my clients. They know that they can call me personally any time of the day, and I'm going to answer my phone and help them through whatever issues they're having. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And how many clients generally do you work with, at a given time?
I have a pretty good book, but I'd say I average around eight to 10 a month.
Okay.
Usually.
So you can really give people like personal service.
One-on-one, yeah, personal service, beginning to end. So if something's going on, like say you bring me a contract, I'm going to be able to tell you what's going on from the get-go. If there's an issue when the title comes back, I personally know what's going on with it because I'm personally handling your deal. So it makes it nice. There's no middleman. You don't have to wait for me to go talk to somebody else in my office. I've got it covered for you. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And you were telling me earlier that you have a pretty unique tagline for people to remember you by. So,
well, and it's closing deals in heels since 1998, because I've always got cred for coming in heels in the closing room. As I'm getting older, I may need to switch that up. We shall see. But yeah, closing deals in heels, that's my thing. So
okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a hashtag closing deals in
heels? I have hashtag closing deals in heels since 1998. And then I also have a hashtag your favorite title agent, because I want to be your favorite title agent.
Okay. So fabulous. And I just want to remind everybody that we are here at Boardwalk Bowl today for Testimonial Tuesday, and our great lunch adventure will be starting at 12:30. So everybody's welcome to come on out and join us for a fabulous lunch here at Boardwalk Bowl. And once again, I'm Rebecca Craddock with Powell Kuiper Commercial Real Estate Services, here with Mary Beth Louise of Medallion Title. So we talked a little bit about, you personally, and, getting into the business a little bit. What about your community involvement? How does that kind of shape who you are and what you do?
Okay. So I grew up in Merritt Island, but went to school in Tallahassee, came back to Orlando in 2002. So since being back, I've been in and out of different community associations, but currently I'm with, obviously, the East Orlando Chamber. Yay! And I will tell you a fun story about how I got connected with the East Orlando Chamber.
Oh, we love
you don't
fun
mind
stories.
Okay, so myself and a group of other people, Amy Roble, you probably know her from the Chamber, we had this networking group for real estate and real estate partners in Oviedo.
Yeah.
And we probably started with 12 to 20 monthly. And we would just invite people in and have a casual little happy hour. Long story short, Dorothy started attending the events, and she's like, you know what? I would love to partner with you guys and help you grow this. So long story short, Dorothy comes in, and we grew from like 12 to 20 to at times 100 people, usually average 60 to 100 people now come to our event. We had to change the venue to accommodate how big we got. Now we have our own Facebook book, and
I
then we
think you
have
can
two.
do a shameless plug for the venue as
Yeah.
well, so that, you know.
Oh yeah, Rock and Bruce, Tavo.
Yeah.
So, but now it's even expanded into two different groups. And if you're wondering what it is, it's Real Estate Connections. So I'm on the Oviedo side of things. I know there's also the Lake Nona side, but I'm on the Oviedo one, and we meet the third Wednesday of every month, Rock and Brews Oviedo, 5 to 7. So,
and you know, I've been to those events, and I've been to some of those events when there was over 100 people.
Yeah.
And it's not just like real estate related. It's, you know, across the board industries, people who just want to network and get together and, you know, meet people and have a great time. So it was a really good networking experience.
Yeah, so that's one of my big ones. And then I'm also involved in the Oviedo Women's Club. I'll give them a shameless plug too. They are holding their Great Day in the Country. It's a big craft show, and they have hundreds of vendors that come in, and they all have to be homemade crafts. So that is this Saturday, if anybody is interested in Oviedo. And then I also host my own little individual networking events. Like last night, I hosted one at a wine bar, a new wine bar in Oviedo, exclusively for women realtors that were in that Oviedo, Winter Springs area. So that was it was fantastic. It was everything I imagined it would be and could be and more. So I was very excited. So we're definitely going to keep that going.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Yeah. And so any other events that you have planned, you know, between now and the end of the year? Any networking events?
I'm also part of Orlando Real Producers, so they always have an annual party. So I'll be attending that. Our last Real Estate Connections is, I believe it's the 20th of November. It's the third Wednesday. So we have that, and that is the last one of the year. And then other than that, I'll see everybody in January.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So between, you know, now and January, you said that you have, you know, some plans to expand your business, branch out a little bit. Tell us, you know, a little bit about what your future plans are.
Right now, I'm really focusing on forging new relationships. I have a lot of established ones, but this time of year, I think we were talking about it earlier, it's traditionally a slower time of the year in our industry. A lot of people go on vacation the whole month of December. So nice. It's really a great opportunity for me to get out and really ramp up my marketing instead of just sitting back. So I do look at it as an opportunity to ramp that up. So that's why I did, you know, the wine night last night and it's, you know, events like that just to keep everything moving forward.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Great. So let's get back to you as a person.
Okay.
You know, like, well, you as a person in your business, and I'm trying to think of how I can. So you were talking about some of the challenges that you really, you know, enjoy, you know, kind of working out. Can you elaborate a little bit more on some of that?
Let me see what would be a common. Most commonly, it's just kind of a juggling act. So, you know, everything in the real estate transaction is so date sensitive. So from the time you get the contract, you know, you've got so many days for the buyer to get their escrow deposit in. You've got so many days for inspections to be done. You've got so many days for just meeting the timelines for the lender. So just staying on top of the dates, and if a date is missed or if a date has to be pushed back, it kind of, you know, just juggling and contacting the 50 people that are part of that transaction.
Have you come across, I heard like the new, you know, fraud scam is people are, you know, taking title to your house.
Okay.
So how Like, how are they able to do that, and how can you get that straightened out?
Okay, I do have a story for this one. Thank you.
Okay.
You didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is not uncommon for you hear about title lock protection, like you hear probably commercials and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And what that is, it's where people are coming in after someone has purchased a property. A lot of times it's people that own the property for cash. So there's no mortgage, there's nothing like red flagging it. And they'll come in and they'll, file fraudulent deeds, or they'll contact a realtor and say, hey, I want to sell this property. And the realtor has no idea who they are. And like one in particular I had, a realtor called me and she goes, I know you closed on this property 3 months ago, but the seller is contacting me and something's just off. And I said, okay, well, I personally know the seller. Why don't you let me reach out to the seller and see, if there is anything fraudulent going on or not. So long story short, I contacted the seller. The seller was absolutely not selling the property. It turned out that the gentleman that reached out to the realtor got a fake ID. He got all the address information from public records, because when you file those deeds, they're public record. So he got all the owner's address information from there and created a fake ID with his photo that he had given to the realtor, but it was not our person, because I had the actual ID from our real person and his wife. So they stopped that. We filed fraud with my underwriter so they could do what they needed to do on their end and send out bulletins on that. And then I advised the owner, I let them know that it was in Seminole County. Seminole and Orange counties have their own version of Title Lock, and it's free. It's free for anybody that's got recorded documents. So you can sign up through the official records, Orange County official records page or Seminole County official records page.
Okay.
And I believe it's called Title Lock Protection, something like that. And you go in and you just put in all your information. And if somebody tries to file something against your name, property, any of those like checked off boxes, they will alert you within like 24 to 48 hours. So it won't necessarily stop them from filing something, but it's going to alert you very quickly, almost like credit card fraud. If your fraud department contacts you, you can jump on it quickly, so it doesn't get to the point where they're now taking out mortgages and all of that kind of stuff. So it's a cool thing that the local counties offer.
So do you recommend when a real estate agent gets a phone call, from somebody saying, hey, I want to, sell my house, that the first thing they do maybe is kind of do a little bit of research to make sure that
if it's a random person, doing the due diligence is always a good idea.
Okay.
And if you have a gut instinct that something is wrong, it probably is.
Okay.
So
have you seen a lot of this recently?
Not a lot, but that just happened a couple months ago. And the funny thing was, the seller, she was a realtor, and then that's how I got her business. So she was like, now she's sending me everything. So it was a win-win.
Good.
But yeah.
Good. I mean, that's kind of frightening if somebody, thinks that they can just come along and sell your house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was crazy because the ID looked real. Like if I didn't personally know them, I would have never assumed anything was wrong with it. So
yeah. Because I also just found out that you cannot deed a property to someone without their permission either. Because I guess you used to be able just to sign over a house to somebody and you didn't have to tell them, but now they have to give express permission to have it deeded over to them. Okay. Just so that they know.
I did not know that.
Okay.
But I mean.
Yeah, you can't do anything without two-way communication, which is, it's comforting in a slight way to know that somebody just can't quick claim something over to you.
Yeah, exactly, and say put it in your name and here you go. Yeah.
Yeah, take all the debts that go with it. See you later.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'd like to remind everybody once again that we are here at Boardwalk Bowl for Testimonial Tuesday. I'm Rebecca Craddock with Powell Kuiper Commercial Real Estate Services, with Mary Beth Louise with Medallion Title. the best closer in Orlando, at Seminole County, Orange County. We are here for our great lunch adventure today at 12:30. So everybody come on out and join us. I hear the pizza is great. So let's try that. And I wanted to get back to you are, wanting to expand your business. So, who do you really want to connect with? What are the type of people that you want in your
Primarily,
circle?
my focus is realtors. So listing agents, selling agents. It used to be that it was always the listing agent that directs, but now with some of the changes in the industry, I'm getting calls from buyers agents. So that's great. So realtors in general, always good. Um, mortgage brokers, lenders, always a good contact because if they have refinancers or if they're handling a loan for somebody that's doing a for sale by owner, that's great. For sale by owners are great because they usually don't have a title relationship. And just individuals buying or selling, they always have the choice of who they use for title insurance. So, if they don't necessarily want to go with who their realtor is recommending, I would love to help them out. So,
Okay. All right. Do you have any other crazy title stories?
oh gosh, crazy. Probably one of the craziest. I mean, we've all heard where people, switch their jobs or um, buy a car the day before closing. Don't do that. But probably the craziest was we had a gentleman coming in for closing, and we're expecting him and his wife. And so this couple walks in, they sit down at the table. Well, the first thing we do is we take their driver's licenses. So we took their driver's licenses and we're like, the name, the wife's name does not match. And we're like, did you guys recently get married? Why does the last name not match up? No, it was his girlfriend. His wife was still alive. She was in the hospital. And yeah, he brought his girlfriend to closing. So closing did not happen that day. It did eventually happen with the wife. But yeah, that was a fun one. That was probably the craziest one. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. And I guess that also it's pretty important to mention that if you're selling your property, that anybody who's listed on the deed needs to be available for closing to sign the paperwork because sometimes people think that it's just my wife.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to be here. Or
Yeah. A lot of times, even if the spouse wasn't on, like when my husband had his first property, I wasn't on title, but when we went to sell, because it was our homestead at that point, I had to come to closing and sign off, even though my name was not on the title. So yeah, a lot of people do not realize that. So yeah, always good. And those are the types of things you asked me earlier, like what I try to do with first-time home buyers and walking them through. Those are the types of things I like to lay out very early on so everyone has their expectations set from the get-go. So.
Okay. And do you also, do you help people if they have to do a quick claim deed for whatever reason?
I do not, unless it is in conjunction with providing title insurance. So I'm not an attorney. I'm a licensed title agent.
Okay.
So I prepare documents required to issue a title insurance policy. So if we need a deed, I can prepare the deed at closing. Or any other, recordable affidavit. But as far as just somebody needing a quick claim deed randomly, no, I cannot do that. However, I work for a law firm, so the attorney in my office can draft those. He has a fee, but yeah, he can draft those. But really, anybody can draft their own quick claim deed. So,
okay.
But it may or may not be completed correctly, so it's always good to have an attorney or somebody who knows how to prepare the document, review it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you've given us a lot of great information about titles and title insurance. Did we touch on that?
Not really.
Okay. What can you tell everybody about title insurance?
Well, probably one of the most common questions I get is, do I actually need this? I'm like, well, I personally wouldn't buy a house without having homeowners insurance or have a car without car insurance. Why would you buy the largest purchase, one of the largest purchases of your life, and not have title insurance and have that assurance, knowing that there are no liens or encumbrances on the property that you're purchasing, and that prior owners can't come back and try to claim a portion of the property as theirs.
Okay.
So
the title insurance, is that like a one-time payment? Do you have to
Yes.
renew it yearly?
yes, unlike homeowners insurance or car insurance or health insurance, title insurance is a one-time fee. So you pay it at closing. It is in Florida, it's a promulgated rate, so it is based on the sales price, or if you're just refinancing, it's based on the loan amount.
Okay.
I can
So-
kind of read that.
See, a title search checks for past owners, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. How far back do you go in a title search?
It depends. Sometimes our underwriter will go all the way back, like all the way back to the beginning of time when the first deeds were drafted, and sometimes they only go back 20 years. So it depends. So
Okay.
how the underwriter makes that determination, I don't know, but it just depends
Okay.
on how far.
What's the farthest you've ever gone back personally?
All the way back to, I want to say, in Florida, I want to say it's 1825 is when they started writing title insurance. Don't quote me on that, but
Okay.
but for me, for my deals personally, I think probably like the 50s or 60s. I've seen it go back that far. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So so we've talked about you and title insurance now. You said that you kind of got into this industry serendipitously.
yes.
So what were you planning on doing?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay. So, my family I come from a family that had a TV and radio station up in York in Red Lion, Pennsylvania. So I was on the TV station when I was little, and I always wanted to be a news anchor as I got older. So throughout high school, college, everything I was doing was very communications related. So that's what I was going to school for. It is obviously not what I'm doing now, but since social media and TikTok and all of that, I've been able to, kind of work doing the stuff in front of the camera and talking, on those platforms. So it kind of brings things that I love into what I'm currently doing. So,
Okay. What's
Yeah.
your Instagram handle in case anybody wants to check out?
ooh, that's a good question. I probably know I know my TikTok is American Dream Team 2.0. My Facebook, Meta came in, and that's why that's a good question. They made me change it from Mary Beth Louise, and I believe it's under Mary Elizabeth Louise now because it had to match my legal name. So I'm pretty sure that's what it's under. But if you just go to my hashtag, your favorite title agent, it should pull all of the
Take it.
socials up. Yeah.
Okay. Fun. So how many hours do you think you have, like just on TikTok alone?
Oh gosh. Well, it would be since 2020. My kids, I was homeschooling my kids, and they TikTok schooled me. So I don't know, a lot of hours.
Fun.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. It's fun to scroll. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So I have another personal question for you.
Okay.
If you were stuck on a desert island and you could only have 3, I don't know, records, cassettes, CDs, what 3 would you have with you?
Okay. I love Michael Bublé, so definitely Michael Bublé. Oof. Aside from that, my kids have been on a Bruno Mars kick lately, and I realized how fantastic he is. So I'm going to say Bruno Mars. Oh gosh, what else? Oof. harder than I would think. Probably, oh gosh.
So
I don't know.
when you're in your car and a song comes on the radio, what's the one that you turn up louder than any other
Okay.
song and you sing to it?
The song that I shouldn't listen to year round is Wham! Last Christmas. So I would have to have Wham! Last Christmas.
Love me
Just
some
puts me
George
in such a good mood.
Michael.
So,
I get it. I totally get it.
yeah.
All right. Well, once again, I'm Rebecca Craddock with Powell Kuiper Commercial Real Estate Services. We are here at Boardwalk Bowl for Testimonial Tuesday and our great lunch adventure starting at 12:30. Everyone is invited to join us. So come on up, try the pizza, have the